أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the last few weeks, our newspapers, our television screens, our countries' constant news feed has been about man behaving badly. I'm pretty certain you've been following it and you may have become sick and tired of hearing it. Hopefully you will not be sick and tired of hearing it from me today. And I say this with a very massive question mark. Are we behaving adequately with man or woman? Especially since the news has been man behaving badly, my question is, are us men behaving adequately and honorably with women? And I believe it's come time that we address this issue properly and once and for all. I've been watching and reading with utter dismay, my brothers and sisters, the harassment cases surfacing every day in our world. It seems everyone involved is taking advantage of the vulnerable in our society today. From MPs to actors, from sports personalities to religious clerics, it seems many of them are behaving terribly badly and treating women inappropriately. The allegations are mounting, and it will be a monumental task to investigate these and ascertain the truth. However, it is fast becoming clear that we have a huge problem in our hand. I'm appalled at the way some men treat women, and I'm fearful of the engulfing saga destroying our society. I feel very scared because I'm a father of a young girl who is just reaching her teenage years. I fear that the world she will be growing up has become riddled with such perversion. I fear that she will have very soon to confront the evil faces of these predators who are charged with uncontrolled testosterone, prying eyes, seeking instant gratification. They are callous and they do not care about the consequences of their actions. I call these men base men, thrill-seeking, human-looking vultures. They're not human. They're like vultures. I lament at what has happened to our world around us, brothers and sisters. Morality and ethics have been butchered by the marauding perverts, abusers of women, harassers of women, as well as their moral relativist apologists, those who justify such action, giving morality a relativist ideal. Every news item is about abuse. More and more names are coming forward of victims, mainly women who are like my own mother, my own sister, my own daughter, and who have been exploited and violated by vile men in the world today. I feel a deep sense of anger bubbling inside me. I feel like screaming from the top of my voice, telling the world that we cannot survive without collective moral and ethical framework. My brothers and sisters, we cannot be pushed down this slippery slope of permissiveness and perversion. We cannot be pushed down this slippery slope of destruction and moral absolute degradation. I have a young daughter who was talking to me the other day, and she asked me, "What's going on, Dad?" So I told her. I asked her, "Did you not discuss this in your school?" She goes, "No, we don't discuss this. We're very embarrassed of talking about it." She said, "I think these men are sick. We must teach people how to respect others," she said to me. She's absolutely right. Brothers and sisters, I promised her that I would write about it and I'll speak about it. I said to her, give me your hand. She gave me her hand. I shook her hand. I said to her, is it okay if a foreign man, was to shake your hand? She goes, perhaps it depends on the circumstances. I said, give me your hand, leave me your hand. I held her hand and I then rubbed the top of her hand like this. I said, if a man was to do that, would it be acceptable? She goes, no. Of course not, it won't be acceptable. Why would it not be acceptable, I asked her. She goes, he is a foreign man. He has no right to do this. Circumstances may determine that I have to shake someone's hand, but he has no right to do this. She is a young girl, learning about the morals of life. Then I told her, what about this? I placed my hand on her knees and I said, is it okay for me to touch your knee? She goes, you're my dad, of course. What about a man? She said, of course not. A man should not touch me in any part of my body, for that is none of his business. It's mine, and it must be honored and respected. She is only 11, and I'm proud and I'm very happy that she, from her own learnings, have concluded those moral yardsticks. And yet, grown-up man and grown-up woman have forgotten these yardsticks and these moral codes, and we see our society in great mess today. There was a sense of anger inside her voice, brothers and sisters, a disquiet of a society's failure to protect women. She was upset that women were treated dishonorably by men, respectable men, from political fields to scholarship, from sports personalities to icons, were behaving badly towards women, and she wanted to know why. It seems I cannot trust man around my daughter anymore. I'm frightened for her. I'm frightened for this perverted, crazy world where a woman is not regarded and not treated like a human being anymore. Often women are looked at by sick men as objects of desire. Even in this modern and progressive world, it seems women are still treated in a despicable manner. Young girls are subjected to all sorts of terrible pressure inflicted upon them from the society. It's psychological and physical harm that's been inflicted on them. You have to only pick up a magazine or watch a TV program. The image of Barbie doll lookalikes, scantily dressed girls, all made up with makeup and absolutely no dress whatsoever, has become the new visual acceptable standard proposed by the mainstream media as well as the non-mainstream media, online and offline. To me, what a sick depiction of women, what a desecration of their honor. I detest the way fashion industry and the media have reduced women to material commodities and objects of desire alone. I detest it, I loathe them. I call upon the media and the industry to wake up and realize what they're doing is they're degrading their own mothers, they're degrading their own daughters and their own sisters. If they so care, they would stop it. I'm deeply disgusted by the animalistic behavior of some of these men. Every day I see men abusing women with their eyes. When they stare at a woman and follow every woman as they see them walk by. I see groups of men ogling women like a pack of hyenas drooling over the meat that they're anticipating to devour. It's sick, it's sick, it's sick. Brothers and sisters, I am appalled. I'm appalled to see men violate women's body in the open on a daily basis when they're staring at their chest, their backs or their legs. Why? Why? I can see perversion, written all over their eyes and sickness visible in their faces. If I was walking with my daughter and if a man looked at my daughter in the same filthy way, God only knows what I would do. Brothers and sisters, I've heard women complain on a daily basis. When men are talking to us, they're staring at our body parts and they say, hey, my face is here, talk to me, not my body parts. Sick on those men who do that. Look at the woman's face if you want to talk to her. If you have other things in your mind, lower your gaze. That's what Allah says. Turn away, move away. Your intention, if it's sick and perverted, you no longer have the honor of indulging with somebody who is from your mothers, your daughters, and your sisters. You have given up that right. Brothers and sisters, men behaving badly is something that we need to eradicate from our society as soon as possible. And addressing it openly should not make you uncomfortable. Men should lower their gaze and have some shame. Women should not tolerate such brazen, unashamed, ugly behavior from men anytime. Never should they tolerate such behavior. I remember one woman told me that when men do that, we feel like putting our fingers in their eyes, poking their eyes so that they don't do that again. So my brothers and sisters, look away if you truly respect her as a fellow human being and not a piece of meat for your perverted desire or perverted wishes. May Allah protect us from this evil. May Allah make us better people. May Allah enable us to honor our woman as it is described in the Quran. I will be continuing, inshallah, in a couple of minutes. A few announcements for you. Seeking dua from all. Somebody says, I will face a big back operation. My dear brother, his wife, is he? Okay. His wife, brother's name is Abu, I can't read this.
Nisar, I think.
Nisar. Allah bless the family, Allah bless his wife, give her shifa, inshallah. Drop-in breakfast every first and the third Wednesday of every month. Please invite your friends and your families and neighbors and come and enjoy breakfast here. It's open to everybody. 10:30 to 12 p.m. Sounds more like a brunch, but it's a good idea. First and the third Wednesday of every month. I will be discussing and continuing every Wednesday a study session here. Some of you have been complaining, saying, when can we come to a study session with you? Well, I've just started last week. Every Wednesday, inshallah, we start here around Isha time. So come for Isha prayer and we'll start straight away. On a Wednesday, you bring your children for the club, the youth club. So you stay behind, and if you don't have children, come. If your children are grown up, bring them too. Bring your wife, bring everybody. It's a family program. We'll be discussing various aspects. Right now, we're discussing the hadith of Jibreel. We discussed yesterday Islam, and we'll be continuing, inshallah. Every Wednesday from after Isha prayer. So come at Isha. Isha is at 7:15. Sheikh Subhan's halaqah every Friday after Maghrib, prayer here. Short discussions on the Quran, hadith, and contemporary issues. And before marriage intro Sunday, the 12th of November, only for single, not those who are married. From Dhuhr prayer according to our time. Please do come and see the website for details. Number 5, Green Star Team Youth Night tonight at 7 to 9:30 p.m. That sounds good. Green Star Team. We have mixed youth night. Where we have a special spoken words artist, Isam from Seattle, USA. Isam is a poet, artist, and active member of South Seattle community. He teaches young people of color and Muslims to reclaim their narratives through his program. Please do come tonight from 7 till 9:30. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا حبيبنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أذكى لهم إن الله خبير بما يصنعون. Allah in the Quran, my dear brothers and sisters, says very, very powerfully, Surah number 24, verse 30, tell the believing man to lower their gaze and be mindful of their chastity. This will be most conducive to their purity, and verily Allah is aware of all that you do. The verse continues in the next verse, verse number 31, the same advice to women. قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ. Allah Azza wa Jal says to the believing woman to also lower their gaze. وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ, and that they should protect their chastity. And they should not وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ, and they should not display their charm and their beauty in public beyond that which Allah has allowed, and the verse is long. I do not want to concentrate on the second part of the verse. I want to concentrate on the first verse that I've recited. قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُمْ ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا يَصْنَعُونَ. And tell the believing man to lower their gaze and protect their chastity. And this is most conducive to purity. Verily Allah is all aware of what you do. My brothers and sisters, Allah has provided a solution to our problem. Solution to the problems of all these MPs who are resigning in big numbers. All these celebrities who are resigning in big numbers. All these filmmakers who are being accused of all sorts of evil. All the scholars of all backgrounds. Muslim scholars, non-Muslim scholars, Christians, clerics, theologians, priests, who are forced to resign or hide for their inappropriate behavior with the opposite gender. And Allah has given a very beautiful solution. And when we don't follow the solution, we degrade women, we dehumanize women, and we objectify. My brothers and sisters, I was talking about how men violate women with their eyes. It's called the adultery of the eye. Lower it. Don't look at a woman passing by, because if you do, only for recognition it is allowed, right? Some people think, okay, first gaze is allowed. That's what Rasulullah said. Let me prolong my first gaze for as long as I can. But you know what? Are you trying to fool Allah? Allah knows what is in your heart. Men also violate women with their words when they comment about a woman's looks to their friends, speaking most despicably with vulgarity and obscenity. My ears burn when I hear men talk about women who they have no right over. in a manner that is despicable. I hate it when I hear men discuss about the body parts and the size and the nature and the features of a woman's body. Why do men talk about it in this lewd manner? It is none of your business what they look like. Allahi, if you do, you're committing zina with your tongue. Zina with your tongue. Men trample woman's dignity in many ways. I find it absurd that in the modern world today, it has somehow become okay and acceptable to have casually touching of the opposite sex. It's okay to touch. What do you mean it's okay to touch? Which part of the body is okay to touch? How do you draw the line? You touch here is okay, touch there is not okay, touch on the shoulder is okay, touch on the back is not okay. Where do you draw the line? I say, you may think it's okay, but you don't know what is in the mind of the person who's touching. This perversion is not acceptable. My brothers and sisters, research after research have proven that people are moved by touch. Wrong touch, you are moved in the wrong way. Right touch, you're moved in the right way. If a woman is not related to you, why do you need to touch them at all? I've seen it's okay to shake their hands. It's okay to hug. It's okay to kiss. What's left? It's not okay to hug. It's not okay to kiss. In fact, according to opinions within Islam, one should not shake the hands of the opposite sex unless it would cause offense to the other person because they have offered it to you. Brothers and sisters, some people say, don't even shake your hands. Shake the hands of the opposite sex. Both the opinions exist. But touching in the sense of a hug and a kiss, socially making them acceptable, no, it's not acceptable to me. It's the open door or opening of the door to zina. Parameters of physical interaction has become so blurred in our days. It gives me great pain and anguish. I receive emails, I receive messages from people, I receive people's complaints that there are men who don't know how to respect the boundaries. My brothers and sisters, I tell you, if we don't guard the boundaries Allah has asked us to guard, we will destroy our society. I would like to propose an Islamic solution to the problems that we have. It may have been revealed 1400 years ago, but it is more relevant today than it was then, and it will always be relevant and contemporary, my brothers and sisters. First Islamic solution is self-respect. Number one, accept yourself and respect yourself. If you're a woman, my sisters, you don't need a man to validate you. You don't need somebody else to say you look good. You don't need somebody else to say you are desirable or attractive. It's none of their business. You should accept who you are. Allah has made you beautiful. Allah has made you wonderful. Allah has given you His ni'mah. He's given you eyes. He's given you hearing. He's given you tongue. He's given you body. Accept it and be grateful. Self-respect is the first and the foremost. Brothers, self-respect. You don't respect yourself, you don't respect others. When you disrespect other people, it is an indication that you don't respect yourself. Accept it. Allah has given you this body. Allah has given you a mind. Allah has given you emotions. Allah has made you a wholesome human being. Accept it. Respect it. Create the space of respect. Self-respect and mutual respect is the first and the foremost solution Allah provides in the Quran by giving man and woman equal status in His eyes. He says, "Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum." In the eyes of Allah, the best amongst you is the one who's most honorable. Not the one who's a man or a woman, no. Not the one who's black or white, no. Not the one who's rich or poor, none of those. The most honorable in the eyes of Allah is the one who's Allah conscious. Allah consciousness comes to everybody. Whoever seeks it, who tries to get it, and who asks Allah for it, it doesn't come because you're a man or a woman. Solution number 2, honoring others. I teach my children that they must respect man and woman equally. Allah has conferred upon man and woman dignity from the day He made them. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, Allah says in the Quran, and I've conferred upon children of Adam honor by being a human. Whether you're a sinner or you're virtuous, whether you are the muallim or you're an ordinary person, whether you are the president or the peasant, whether you are a philosopher or a farmer, whoever you are, rich or poor, black and white, you have the same honor Allah has given you. Did you know even prisoners and the free people, they have the same honor? They have the same honor. One is being punished for a crime, but the honor for being a human being always remains. Number one, respect one another. Respect yourself. Number two, honor the opposite sex. Honor woman, honor man. Honor them like your mother. Honor them like your sister. Honor them like your daughter. Number three, use your eyes appropriately. Allah has given you your eyes for a reason. Not to ogle the opposite sex. Not to inflict upon them harm using your eyes. Not to devour their honor with your eyes. My brothers and sisters, look at them with clean intention. If you notice any sexual thoughts, look away. Of course, we must look when we interact. It would be absurd to stare at the floors when we are interacting. However, you know what's in your mind. Prophet's companions were human beings. There is a nice example of one of the young companions who was staring at a woman. Prophet put his hand on his head, turned it away and said, "Oh young man, the first look is allowed. What are you doing? Turn away! Turn away!" Looking for recognition, looking for communication, looking for things that are necessary. But when that looks becomes the looks of desire, lower it. يَغُضُّ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. Lower your gaze, for the first one is allowed, the second one that follows comes with the intention. And if the intention is wrong, turn it away. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla on the Day of Judgment will ask your eyes. The eyes will testify, will be a record given. Every single thing you saw, immediately put out for the whole world to see. Number four, zero physical touch. You don't need to touch the opposite sex. You don't need to touch a woman or a man. Those who are halal for you, it's different. But you don't need to touch anybody. Why? Yes, hugging brothers to brothers, sisters to sisters, no problem, go ahead. Give as many hugs as you want. But hugging the opposite sex, no, not allowed in Islam. There is a reason for it. All this time, in the liberal world, we were told the Muslims are backwards. Look, they don't even hug. Well, I've got good news for you, the huggers. Bad news, rather. Look at what's happened. You don't know where the boundaries are. Your mind may be clean, but you don't know the mind of the other person. Allah makes it easier for you. Don't touch the opposite sex. You don't need to. You don't need to. So there is no excuse, whether you are French or you are English, whether you are Arab or African, whether you are Asian or Chinese. You don't need to touch the opposite sex unless they are your family members and they are halal for you to touch and haram for you to marry. Number five, always interact in a public, safe and open space. Man and a woman meeting in a private space. Third is the shaitan, Rasul said. Third is shaitan. If you meet in public space. Of course you can meet in public space. I understand if you're a doctor, it's a different story. If you're even nowadays in the hospital, when the doctor is examining, they have to bring a nurse. It has to be somebody else present. It's called common sense approach. And you will then wonder, what went wrong? I just met that girl in a private room. What went wrong? Number six, be mindful of what you write. Whatever you write, my brothers and sisters, Allah's record will keep it. Depth of darkness, in the secrecy of your own private time, what you write is recorded. You can write what you like as long as it's kind to your wife, no problem. Go ahead. Be as salacious as you want. Be as naughty as you want with your wife. It's fine. It's halal. But somebody else? No. Number seven, speak clean. when you speak to somebody, especially another human being, I say human being deliberately because you're not going to be speaking to an animal. Please mind your tongue. What you say is recorded. What you say is released. On the day of judgment it will become real. If you speak lewd, nasty on the day of judgment, that's going to be your reward. What kind of a man would speak to the opposite gender in a lewd and degrading manner? Would you speak to your mother like this the same way? Would you tolerate somebody speaking to your mother in the same way? No, you would not tolerate it for your sister. You would not tolerate it for your daughter. Why do you think somebody else will tolerate it when you do the same to their mother or their sister or their daughter? Never mind, my brothers and sisters, what the society says is fashionable. We have our standard, and I believe if we follow the Islamic standard, we would not be in the mess that we see our society is today. Number 8, never be embarrassed of shyness. Shyness is good. Al-haya'u shu'batun min al-iman. Shyness is good. Embrace shyness. Bashfulness is good. Shamelessness is a problem. Animals are shameless. Human beings are naturally shy people. When the society loses shyness, when the society loses modesty, when the society loses bashfulness, it becomes like animals. Islam proposes a society that embraces shyness. Being loose is not a badge of honor. It's a sign of disgrace. Being loose is not a badge of honor. It's a sign of disgrace. And yet I see many people talking about themselves. Oh, I'm loose, I'm okay. You're not okay, something is wrong. Why are you loose? I'm talking about loose with your tongue, loose with your behavior, loose with your morals and your manners. And dear brothers and sisters, I've given you 8 solutions. I have 2 more to cover. I'll do that, inshallah, very quickly. May Allah bless us all, protect us, enable us to practice all that we've heard. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Amma ba'd. Number 9, adopt modesty. In every aspect of life, we must be modest. Your personal character, your manner of talking, your social interaction, your interpersonal skills are all defined by modesty according to Islam. How you present yourself in your appearance or your clothes are all defined by modesty. Sexually alluring clothing will attract people who are looking for that. If that is not the type of attention you want, why wear such degrading clothes for yourself? I keep my sexually seductive clothes private for my wife to enjoy, not for the world to see. It's a private matter. Modesty in clothing is very important. Man and woman must liberate themselves from the shackles of immodesty and promote themselves to become human. The media would like to promote all sorts of things as modesty. In fact, they're immodesty. Brothers and sisters, we don't even need to discuss this. Allah told us to cover ourselves properly. Why is covering unfashionable? Why is covering unfashionable? Why is it so difficult for our brothers to dress up modestly? Why is it so difficult for our sisters to dress up modestly? Why is it so difficult? What are you trying to do? Who are you trying to defy? Allah tells you one way, you defy Allah and you do it the opposite way. Why? Why? Who are you trying to please? Your ego? But if you do what you see today, a mess in the society happens. We are all human and we have ethical consolidations, even considerations in our clothing. Dress well, behave well, you'll be respected. That's the natural law of human species. Otherwise we'll go naked. We're clothed well. Our clothing demonstrates our level of integrity that we have for ourselves. And finally, do not play Russian roulette with sexual relationship. Do not play Russian roulette with sexual relationship. You know what Russian roulette is? It's a gun that you take with a bullet inside, and you don't know which chamber the bullet is, and you keep on clicking. You don't know when it's going to fire and kill you. You don't do that with sexual relationship. Relationship with the opposite sex, based on mutual respect, honor and dignity, cannot be a random thing, cannot be without attachment, cannot be without strings, cannot be without emotions, cannot be without feelings. It must be with commitment. must be with honor and respect. It must be with respect and love and mercy. It must be, otherwise we have a problem in our society. Playing around with people and interacting them inappropriately causes physical and emotional pain. The best way to return man and woman to their natural disposition, my brothers and sisters, called fitra, is to create the culture of co-partnership, is the only way, in my view, embracing the honest realities of what Allah has given you and I. He has given you and I a space to be honorable, respectable. Qur'an's understanding of creating a safe space is to take away the sexual tension by giving those rules that I've given you, the 10 we have just discussed. We're certainly not abusers. We're protectors of one another. We're co-partners in this life. Allah describes us, Hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahunna. They're your garment and you're their garment in a marital relationship. That intimate and that close, and yet separate when it comes to our social and our public space. The way forward is to desexualize men and women's interaction and connect using intelligence and good manners. My brothers and sisters, I want to call upon the society. I want to call upon the Muslims and the non-Muslims of our society to forget their ego, to forget their fashion industry, to liberate themselves from the desires and the wants that the society expects, but come back to your natural disposition. Your natural disposition is you have shame, shyness. You like being covered. You like being cherished, honored, and respected. May Allah protect us. May Allah forgive us. May Allah protect our sisters and our brothers. May Allah protect our sisters and our brothers. May Allah protect our sisters and our brothers. May Allah enable us to create a safe space. May Allah enable us to respect one another, to accept one another, to honor one another, to cherish one another. May Allah give us the strength to be able to create a space of neutrality, honor, and respect. May Allah protect our sisters from the evils. May Allah protect the sisters from the eyes of the evil. May Allah protect our sisters from the tongue of those people who commit evil. May Allah protect our sisters from the words of those people who commit evil. May Allah protect our sisters from the prying eyes of men and the abusers in our society. May Allah protect our children. May Allah protect our children. May Allah protect our society. May Allah open up the doors of freedom and opportunities for us to honor one another. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akrameen. Free Al-Aqsa from occupation, Ya Allah. Free Syria from the tyrants, Ya Allah. Free Kashmir from occupation, Ya Allah. Free Iraq from fitna, Ya Allah. Free Syria from the tyrants, Ya Allah. Free every part of the world that is in trouble, Ya Allah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقم الصلاة.